How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to Muv-Luv Monday. We are finally back. Delayed, but not forgotten. I'm returned. Let's do this! So we're here. We're ready to go. Looks like we're finally going to have the show off between the Bao Feng and, you know, our boy Yuuya. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I think it's going to go fine, but, like, it's going to be intense. And remember, this is just preludes to, like, the future fights we're supposed to be able to have with the Americans and then Scarlet Twins. That's the order I'm predicting the fights are going to go for. So, because I could see us fighting against the Russians being the finale because they really are probably the strongest in the competition. Especially because, unfortunately, Yuuya's numbers are beefed. They're being beefed up by his reputation about the massive amount of kills he got with the railgun. So, yeah, we'll have to see. But I'm excited to see how this plays out. So the music's jumping, and it's finally time for us to see some real facing off. So I don't know if there's really much else to say other than the fact that let's just jump in and see how it goes. Quiet attention. Yifei. Imperialist, huh? Well, I guess I was going to say, like, that feels a bit outlandish, but this universe it actually is. They are very imperialist right now. Oh, interesting. So they see Argus as being manipulated by the Soviets. Interesting. Sounds good.
来たるべき有事に備え、日本帝国次期主力機の性能を丸裸にせよだったような。
Wait, so I don't know how well translated that is, but like look at how political speechy that is. Expose the limits of the Empire's mainland TSF capabilities in preparation for any eventualities that might occur in the near future. It's like cough, cough, cough.
だからよ。命令である以上、きっちり締めてやんなきゃダメでしょうが。覚えてなさいよ。やっぱ屈辱だったんだ。うるさい。あんなの別の土俵で勝ち逃げでしょ。私は絶対認めない。
I mean, she's got a point. Like, it really wasn't the best way, the most fair and balanced way to do that whole thing.
ですよね。思い知らせてやりましょう。あんたたち、今日は覚悟しときなさいよ。出撃準備。了解。
There they go.
Yuuya Blitz.
Oh, I interrupted her. September 14th, 2011. It's actually like creepily like on time with the actual date. It's really cool. August 2, enemy incoming from the south. God, apologies for anyone, and like the flashing is probably going to be a thing for this episode, so keep that in mind. Yeah, have you now? Oh, look at that TSF. It looks so good. Like, it's absolutely not great for Battlefield, but like, man, does it look good. Here she comes. Interesting. So, the problem is we were anticipating that she would gun straight for Yuuya, but it looks like they're targeting Teresa. Maybe because Teresa was being more aggressive, or maybe because they anticipate that Argus would like make a plan structured around such an aggressive pattern. Even a veteran like Teresa needs time to adapt to a subtle difference between flying a TSF in the simulator and an actual combat. She better get it done quickly, though, or that slight mismatch will spell doom for her. Shoot. Oh my gosh, look at that! Understood. Confirming intersection coordinates. Oh my gosh. So fast. Can you imagine actually doing this? Oh, it's giving me that Armored Core 6 vibes again. But our plan's gone down the drain now. Okay, so we've lost where they were. Did they land and switch over to silent running mode? Dang it, they're leading us by the nose. In the end, we were the ones who fell for their trap. We have 2 enhanced models that should give us the edge, but still. Stella's switch to the Active Eagle means that we have fewer guns available, and Teresa's still struggling to get a full grip on Unit 2. Honestly, I'm starting to worry. No point in whining about our current situation, though. We gotta adapt as soon as we can, trial by fire and all that. It looks like, honestly, based on what I'm seeing, I'm thinking they're just trying to split them off. Maybe they want to take Yuuya down, like, in a very glorious way. Like, maybe they want to try and pick off his allies, seeing them as weaker targets, so they spread them out, isolate them, so maybe now they're going to go after VG and Stella, try and take them out while, like, they're separated, and then save Yuuya for last, which is the opposite of what they were planning to do originally, but then they can go, like, full, like, humiliation mode, and then that can be captured for all, like, the repeat vids and everything, being like, oh, look at Bao Feng taking down the top of the line Japanese model. Okay. Yeah, she's got a point. Ah. So they're like they're putting the pressure, spreading them out, and then they were trying to take down Teresa because Teresa's kind of like being his squad mate. So if they take her out, then he's all alone. That sounds like something she'd do. Yeah, Teresa was right on the money. Sure, sure. She's just like I was during my days in the US Army, ready to take on the world all by my lonesome and then reach the top. Well, that suits me just fine. We're running a sub-plan Omega. The savage seaweed threw down the gauntlet, and I'm more than happy to pick it up. Come on then, Lieutenant Chewie. Is it? Yeah, it's like Chewie, yeah, Lieutenant Chewie. I can't help but think of, like, the Wookiee. Can't say I hate the strong women. She's great, yep. You're having fun, huh? The more selfish you are, the more willing you are to steamroll friends and foes alike on your way to the top. Not like I'm judging, mind you. Been there, done that. Shui Yufei, I'm right over here. Silent mode again. Well now, I thought you were the impulsive type, but you can keep your urges in check. Guess you need all the shrewd tricks you can learn to survive on the Asian front lines. Frankly, I thought the sassy seaweed would be much more aggressive and straightforward. Gerardo or Bao Feng, they're both pretty good at this dogfighting thing. Garuda, I think. I said Garado, I don't know why. Garuda. But guess what? There's not enough to take me down. Yuuya wouldn't be fazed by this either. And that's not even talk about Teresa. Well, yeah. I won't even dare think of another woman. Oh, here it goes. Anime, gonna get me demonetized. I knew you'd come. Oh, what? She purged the assault cannons. She's going full on blade mode. Ooh. Is she gonna? Oh my gosh, she wants to do a duel style in the middle of an active. Okay, you gotta admit that's ballsy. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's absolutely impractical and definitely not very, like, in line. It's all based on an honor between warriors type thing at this point, but still, you gotta appreciate it. You're on. Turning straight at me. It's so fun, the idea of seeing TSFs like actually sword fighting. Ooh, that was close. Gosh, she's one heck of a pilot. Almost had me for a second. Oh, she's 90 meters away, no place to take cover, and all we got on hand are long blades. This is gonna be good. Uh-oh. I'd rather eat a bullet than let you take the win. Ah! Oh, here she comes. God, that thing's heavy. God darn it! God, it's gonna end quickly. And the problem too is, like, I imagine this is very high risk for like actual death, because like, I think they use specialized rounds. Like, aren't they basically like paint the like that they simulate the shutdown of parts on the TSF? But if the blades are actively hitting each other, like, they're gonna rip each other to pieces. That thing slashes up way too much force behind them. I eat one, I'm going down for the count. Oh yeah, that's right. That they talked about like how they build and like train themselves because one slice, one kill, like over heavy blades and like really strong like strikes, but it's supposed to make them slower on the back recovery, I thought. Can't cross swords with her again or I'll have to kiss my long blade goodbye. In terms of dogfighting capabilities, it's painfully obvious UFA has the upper hand. But all my life I've been walking on the razor's edge. I do my best work under pressure. Burning down foes much stronger than myself, story of my life. It's how I went from an unwanted mixed-race kid to an undeniable elite pilot. You're not my executioner, you're just my latest victim. Here I come! Ooh, where's she going now? I knew I should have done extra training with the freaking long blade. I'm acting all overconfident for my negligence could have cost us this battle. Interesting. Flaunting your moves? How long are you gonna keep toying with me? So indirect thought control can give you this much of an edge if you're well trained, huh? I won't surrender, ever. You might take me down, but you won't walk away unscathed. Oh, that's like I can't help. I've been watching Star Wars stuff lately. That's like the Qui-Gon like lightsaber pose right there. Like I can't help but think about it that way. Oh, I'm such a dork. Sorry for copying you, Lieutenant Takamura, but playtime's over, and the fastest way to take her down is to steal from the best. Oh. What? The TSF's off balance. She's wide open. Eat this! Don't, no, no. Careful, careful, careful. Yeah, she's... Oh. Oh, they don't look happy. Holy crap, though. That was clever. Yeah, agreed. Guess so. My entire body feels sluggish. Hopefully it's not my internal organs hemorrhaging. So I'm guessing what happened, I'm gonna just predict here, is that I bet you we lost that sword fight. I think she got us, but the plan ultimately was just to keep her distracted, because without her to help coordinate the rest of her team, they probably fell to the coordinated maneuvers of the rest of our squad, who like kind of built our whole strategy around them being isolated from their commander. So I'm guessing we won because they eliminated those three, and then Yufei took us out. And so we won by default by course of numbers. Bao Feng lost one TSF, with two others taking minor damage. Two of Argus's machines took minor damage, and the other two were heavily damaged, but we didn't lose a single TSF. We would have lost by points if I didn't take down the commander's craft. Oh, so he did take her down! Doesn't bode well for the next fight, huh? Yeah, she was a big personality, and like that can happen, but you know, I guess we should have realized that she's in they're an elite squad. It's one thing to have a powerful squad that's headed by a powerful leader, and then the rest, you know, are just kind of like standard pilots. But you don't have an elite squad without an entire group of elite flyers, even if one of them is very, you know, loud.
隊長機を落とした後も相当手強かったぜ。最も多くベータと戦ってきた軍隊っていう異名は伊達じゃなかったってことか。
Right.
それだけ強い相手から勝ちを拾えたことを素直に感謝すべきね。
Yeah, but the problem is that doesn't bode well for what's coming next. Whatever you say like that, it feels like they actually took a fall for us.
ああ、ムカつくけど、それはわかる気がする。
戦って思ったんだが、あのお姉ちゃん、もともとブルーフラッグの勝敗なんざどうでもいいのかもしれねえな。
I don't know. I mean, the fight with us was motivated, like, strictly to show that our machine wasn't super superior. I don't know if she accomplished that or not. By making it a sword fight, it kind of gives possible deniability either way. If she'd won, would have been a great bragging point. But now she's lost, she can say, like, you know, I mean, I had him on the ropes, I just did that for fun. Like, it kind of gives them that out. But again, I'm guessing that she mostly just did that for herself. If you already have a lot of real-world experience at your disposal, why would you take the fight with fake butt rules and engagement seriously in the first place?
でしょうね。彼女個人は強い兵士と戦うことにしかブルーフラッグの意義を感じてないんじゃないかしら。
So if she, yeah, because
そうじゃなかったらあんな展開にならないもの。
Like I said, she purged her weapons and invited a fight. Like if Yuuya hadn't like played around, he could have just shot her and taken her out. Like, she wanted to go toe-to-toe with him because she wanted to see what it was like going toe-to-toe with him in the new TSF. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's not boding well at all.
まあ、うちだったらユウヤが目つけられんのも仕方ないよな。
なんせカムチャツカの英雄殿だからな。
Fetch. Still have a long way to go. Yes, let's see how this played out. While I managed to pull off a win against her in close quarters combat, which is nothing short of a miracle, it's clear I'm nowhere near her level. Maybe you should train with Yuuya in the simulators about sword fighting with TSFs. She could obviously teach you stuff. The GN-10 uses the machine's carbonic actuators to generate as much force as possible for a single blow. The resulting slash is more powerful than a similar strike from the Shiranui second, even with the added force of the jump units at full power. Fetch me. Still, the Shiranui second's counterattacks were faster. We're only talking about fractions of a second, though. Overall, the GN-10 still has the upper hand when it comes to the counter strikes. Thanks to the adoption of international standards, the TSFs of the same generation share a great many parts in common. If there's any difference in weight between two machines, it should be minimal at best. It didn't hallucinate the slight difference. So what's the reason behind it? Besides the different operating system, I can think of only two possibilities. The Shiranui second is lighter, or I'm a better pilot, and neither is true. Still, the Shiranui second went strike for strike against the GN-10 and came out on top. It has to be because it's a superior machine overall. Maybe it comes down to the OS, Boeing's MSIP modules, and the base model's potential, or the mechanic's handiwork, or whatever it is. It's still the TSF doing all the work for me. I should hand Yuuya my letter of resignation right here and now. I'm the only one falling behind. I'm the one who's not needed to complete the Shiranui. I'm the one who's not needed to complete the Shiranui second. Alright, being a little harsh on yourself there, buddy. Crap, maybe I'm not good enough for the Shiranui second. Son of a, I put my heart and soul into this, and I can't just let this job get stolen from me. I have nothing else. Developing TSFs is the only thing I'm good at. Yeah, I won't accept it. There's gotta be more differences between the Shiranui second and the GN-10. Think, dang it. The devil's in the details. I don't know, maybe talk to the mechanics. They might have an idea. The Shiranui second's OS, lighter blade fuselage is weight below the shoulders. The engine output, its engine conversion efficiency, the composition ratio of the fuel catalyst, the carbonic actuator's total extension capacity, its tensile strength and application, Yufei's physical coordination, indirect thought control, her brainwaves and muscle response. Fetch it, I'm never gonna find the answer just sitting on my butt. Oh. Oh, great. What now?
なんだ
これは。
なんだ？
アテンション。たった今、グラーブスとインフィニティーズの対戦結果が届いた。
Okay, so this is Eastern Europeans and the Infinites.
来たか。
スコアを発表する。
Oh no!
撃墜4。
Oh,
イン
fetch.
フィニティーズの損害は0。
We are in trouble. That's real bad.
何？
Huh.
なお、状況が確定するまでの所要時
Oh,
間
this is gonna be very scary too, isn't it?
4分だ。
Oh my gosh! Because I thought the round's supposed to be like 20 minutes. So they did a total wipe in 4 minutes. Good God. Yeah. Oh no.
諸君、これがアメリカ軍の最新鋭戦術機 F-22 ラプターだ。
Okay, so it's really funny because, like, in the background, one of the things I ended up doing with the time off I had with the computer being down again is I actually started doing a little bit of digging because there's all these references made, and a lot of the call signs I've realized are actually references to real designs in, like, the modern world. For instance, like the top-of-the-line fighter jet that I'm aware of. I'm sure there might be something new down the pipeline, but we won't hear about it until later. But the top-of-the-line United States, like, aircraft is the F-22 Raptor. Like, it's an actual aircraft. And I learned a little bit about it because I wanted to see, like, why would they give that one's name? And it's because there's a lot of similarities. For instance, the F-22 Raptor has a specified type of, like, material and paint design that makes it essentially a stealth craft. Not as much as, like, the big black, like, anti-radar, like, stealth bombers that, like, were developed in, like, the 60s and 70s. But the F-22 Raptors are built on a similar premise, but unlike the stealth bombers, they can go much faster, they can be deployed much more quickly. I think they can even do the hover landing, so they don't even need an aircraft carrier to take off and land. They can be deployed on much smaller craft, which makes them functionally a lot more versatile. And then, it also has one of the most sophisticated what's it called? It's not anti-surveillance, it's anti-communication and shutting down of signals. So how they work, mysterious. I know enough to know that this is a real thing, though. There's essentially, like, the United States studies anything they can get their hands on, any types of weapon systems that are generated, even theoretically generated by other nations. And they develop countermeasures to those things. How does that work? Well, most modern rockets, for instance, something that would be used to take down a fighter jet because they're so fast, you need like a supersonic rocket to catch them. But they use targeting systems, a little bit of radar pinging, a little bit of communication. EMF, like communication lines, have to be implemented in order for these rockets to be able to actually be utilized in combat with something that can outmaneuver them. So they have to be able to try and compensate. But that makes them reliant on those technologies. So not only are the Raptors designed to have like radar blocking and make them difficult to detect on any scope whatsoever, where most aircraft would have to fly really low to be able to avoid detection, Raptors can kind of just do it normally. And then you add skillful pilots who can also fly kind of low to the ground, you have pretty much invisible fighter jets. To the point where there was even a instance in the war in Iraq, because they had fighter jets, where the 22 Raptors were able to like fly behind or around the enemy fighters and get to the point where they were able to actually like fly like directly beneath them and get like pictures of like the weapons they were using, like call markers and like detailed images of exactly what planes they were, what type of models they were, some of the like repairs that had been done to them. Like they were able to get these pictures because the other jets didn't even know they were there. Like they're close enough to take those pictures and they didn't know it. That's how incredibly like stealthy these things can be for a fighter jet. And then they also have a special devices that can actually shut down munitions. So those rockets that they can fire at them, I would say that unless you have something truly cutting edge, like on the top of the line, like I'm guessing China and Russia having the most likely like munitions that would be resistant. And I would say they're not even immune to this. I'm just saying that they'd have the most likely chance of being able to like not be immediately like voided out by this technology. Anything that's older than the 50s definitely would. Not 50s, actually, more like 70s. But they can literally shut down those communications. They can literally like just call blank out, or I would say most likely it is based on static, like overstimulation, where they kind of listen for the frequency that these missiles and these other planes are using to communicate, and then blasts essentially a jamming signal, which means you just fill the air with clutter and prevent it from being able to send signals. So that means the missiles just stop tracking their targets. It also means that the fighter jets stop being able to communicate with long-range communication lines, to maybe to like home bases or even with each other. So, having learned all these really cool things about the real-life F-22 Raptor, I'm thinking that's a big part of this thing as well, and why they may be so strong. It's like, so we know they're stealthy for TSS. We know they're built for dogfighting. But more importantly, I'm wondering if they have countermeasures. And in a TSF war, where communication is still radio-based, and while it's a sophisticated like link system, it is very, very, very difficult to coordinate if that gets disrupted. It makes sense for an anti-human TSF to specifically target data links. So what if that's how they do it? If you're on a team, how do you coordinate if you suddenly can't talk to each other?
もっとも、これは EMD と呼ばれる先行量産型だ。だが安心したまえ。その実質的な性能は実戦配備されている A 型にも匹敵するという話だ。
Okay, so this is like was supposed to be the mass one, but these ones have been so finely tuned that they are more like the A model, like the super high tier. So essentially, it's almost like having an overclocked PC, where you are pushing parts that normally would be kind of restricted well past into the limit of like the top tier, even though the parts are technically inferior.
アメリカ人はなんと寛容と献身の精神で満ち溢れていることか。冷戦の旧敵である我々に土地と食料を与え、インフラから戦術機の技術までの多くを与えてくれた。そして、諸君が目にしているこの映像一つとっても、そのロドンナまでの献身に満ちている。諜報活動に貴重な時間と人員を費やさずとも、こうしてラプターの実測数値を手に入れることができるのだからな。
I mean, that's fair. They're letting you have a glimpse under the hood, per se, but I mean, as an American, I can assure you, because like this is how it's always been, even in my lifetime, I've been able to know it to the point where like it's obvious. If they're showing it to you, it's because they are already working on something superior. Like, they'll show something that's cutting edge, and they'll show it boldly, but only when it's no longer an ace in the sleeve, you know? Like I said, they're rolling out essentially these mass-produced models. Like, these are the ones that are going to be starting to be in the hands of like just normal pilots. Like, not even like they're aces. So they have the A series, but everyone knows that's like the super secretive top of the line. Those are currently in the hands of the aces. The people that are preparing to become the next aces are going to be working on the next cutting-edge model. Yuuya might not have even known about the development of this model in particular. Like, since he's been removed from the program, they might have introduced a whole new TSF. But they've got new people working on that. The Immortals are just being the showcasers of the model that they're now ready to, like, dust off. They're like, all right, this is done. Let's shelve it, and maybe we're going to start developing, like, 4th generation TSF.
ステルス機能をなす機体の各部形状から、高出力に耐えるジャンプユニットの排熱処理装置、静音性強化の細部使用。さらには、戦闘で剥離した塗装からは、使用されている成分の解析も可能なのだ。
Yeah, true.
見たまえ諸君。世界最強の戦術機、世界最強の軍隊の名に恥じぬあの姿を。素晴らしい戦術機だ。工業製品としては至高の域にある。そして、兵士の連度も火の打ちどころがない。
And that's true of the real jet. Like, I mean, you'll hear various things, but honestly, based on what I was able to see, like the real life stories about the F-22 and like what it's capable of, it's kind of terrifying. Like we've kind of all grown accustomed to the genuine horror that is drones. Like, not even like just from like their execution and abuse that were used overseas in like the Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts, but we're also seeing their implementation on both sides of the Ukraine conflict now, and it's terrifying what they're capable of. Thankfully, there are countermeasures where that's what was really terrifying about for the Afghan and Iraq peoples, was the fact that they didn't really have access to anti-drone technology, so they were just susceptible to just death from above any time. The F-22 is like a super drone because it's capable of so much more and so much better at it.
当首脳部も軍中央もこのステルスなる技術を切望している。当然、我らが同志ロゴフスキー中様だ。だが、そのような過当な技術は我がソビエト連邦に必要ない。我々はすでにそれを超えるものを手にしているのだから。
Alright, so the Russians have an ace that he's putting all his bets on. I'm guessing it's the Scarlet Twins and the Psychic.
だからこそ、我々は証明しなければならない。我が党に、そして世界に、我が祖国の戦術機と兵士が最も優秀な存在であるという事実を。
Oh, that would be interesting. Cause like I was expecting that Yuuya would be able to face off against the Immortals, you know, kind of like confronting his old friends. Wouldn't it be more interesting if before that the Scarlet Twins did like a reverse Uno card on them right there, like wiped them out 4 against 1, and the Scarlet Twins took out all 4 of the Americans in that new F-22? That would be really scary.
同志ビャーチェノワ少尉、同志シェスチナ少尉。
Oh yeah, so he's showing them that.
祖国の名において命ずる。今こそアメリカの恩に報い、その目を覚まさせてやるのだ。彼らが最強を誇る世界は、この惑星の半分に過ぎないという事実を知らしめよ。
Yeah, so he's telling them to go all out.
そして、全世界にあまねく知らしめよ。我らへの標準こそが、人類の救済なのだと。
The N3 project. So yeah, so it seems like that's the alternative 3, because they were spearheads of 3, and so maybe the Soviets are still clinging to the successes they did find in there, even though it didn't quite work what they were hoping for. They still think it's the route to success, not alternative 5. They're sticking with the 3. Okay. September 15th, 2001.
ブリッジ少尉。
Oh, yes, that would be the case. Is he about to propose? Well, that would be cute, but no, like, he's gonna be like, you need to teach me how to fight with a sword. I heard the liaison conference went overtime, so I brought you a little something to read.
これは今日のレポート。提出期限は明日のはずだ。何か緊急を要する問題でも見つかったのか？
Is giving a daily report early, like, flirting? I don't know. Maybe for Yui. No, nothing in particular. It's just that...
ただ。
A pessimist, aren't we? Well, that's partly my fault. I kind of took the machine beyond its limits today. I started to work on it right away because I felt bad for the mechanics. With what with me trashing the machine, and I finished the darn thing before I knew it.
それは気に病むことではない。想定の中でもかなり楽な部類だとローウェル軍曹も言っていただろう。
Yeah, but still. I mean, yeah, but the concern about overstressing the TSF frame aren't something we can just brush off. The poor mechanics are basically living in the hangar these days, running deadline checks on the machine around the clock.
Now, 状況が確定するまでの所要時間は4分だ。
Yeah, forget the 8 minutes of death. This is the 4 minutes of death we have to overlook at.
So ka.
Who am I kidding? I can't even get that stack of crap out of my head. So, here's the report. Figured if I bring it to you right away, we could see what needs to be improved early on and wrap it up before the day's over.
それでわざわざここまで。どのくらい待っていたんだ？
I mean, who's counting? About 15 minutes. Oh yeah, is the conference over already?
ああ。会議はすでに終わっている。整備班の動きも気になるのでな。今から詰め所に戻ろうと思っていたところだ。
Alright, Yuuya. Now, this is the point where you say, like, well, how about we go grab a cup of coffee and we go work together, and we can go to work on this together. Before you go back, I have a favor to ask you. Could you spare a minute or two?
私に頼み
Yui, sweetie, I do wish he were as smooth as you might be hoping for. He's not. Look at the eyebrow twitch. Yeah, she's mad. No, she's not, you idiot. Rushing to get a report done makes it seem like I was half-assing it, and it's obvious I'm using the stuff about Vincent and the mechanics as an excuse. Perceptive woman like her has to know something's up. The fact that our conversation feels so distant is all the evidence I need. Actually, I was hoping you could help me with something. All right, how dirty is your mind gonna go?
何を
Yep, all the way. I have like a million questions about how to apply tensile strength correctly when I'm using a melee blade, and I'm desperate for answers. If possible, while the feeling of having one in my hand isn't faded. Grief. Such a brazen request. You must be furious at me, but my job as the main test pilot is to complete the TSF, and by God, I'm gonna do it.
それは構わないが私でいいのか
Who else? You're like the best. Of course it has to be you.
私じゃなきゃダメ
Please, I need you. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that magic words. Oh, she's about to lose consciousness. Look at her shaking with anger, doing everything in her power to hold back just for the sake of peace of mind. Oh, you're such a, oh my gosh, Yuuya, please, don't be so dense. It's always frustrating having a dense main character. He might be one of the worst. Like, he's real up there. Like, even Takaru, who I consider to be pretty much like a singularity of density, I think he's like kind of knew, or at least he guessed that people liked him, but he like wasn't 100% sure, because that's a very common thing for guys, like, because we're terrified of like being creepy. Oftentimes we'll see the signals and we'll pick up on the signals, but we're like, oh, but is it enough to really make a move on? Because like, I don't want to mess something up, like I don't want to like be creepy. But so like there's always that like grain of like hope and that kernel of like, okay, I think this is flirting. And it's just whether or not, like, it's enough to move on. Yuuya is just completely just like, blinders on, TSF. Good grief, dude. Seriously, the Japanese. Yuuya has some godlike self-control. I'm nothing but an indulgent, selfish little brat compared to her. Well, of course you're busy. Sorry about that. Shouldn't have sprung this on you. She's like, wait, what? Nothing I can do? I'll have to ask her some other time. You don't have to push yourself for my sake. Really, it's my fault. I'm not making excuses here, but there's been a lot on my mind. Huh?
私の都合はすごく大丈夫だ。教えるぞ。私も教えるぞ。
Okay. Yuuya, come on. You know that's a lie. It's not like I have anything else to do right now anyway. Bull crap. She has nothing but things to do. Constantly. Yuuya. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I promise I'll pay you back with results. Thank you, Yuuya. Sorry to rush you on this, but... Ah, fetch. Date canceled?
流行る気持ちはわかるが、貴様、ぶっ通しで報告書を書いていたと言ったな。
Oh, come on. Let her at least spar with him a bit. Oh, yeah. So you heard that.
私はずっとここにいたが。まあいい。
Oh.
とにかく貴様。
Hang on. Ooh.
夕食は取ったのか?
Is the Gulu gonna be wingman number 2? No, sir, not yet.
接触は与えられた自由ではない。A氏の責務だ。体調管理は、基軸任務だったはずだが。
Silver platter! It's a silver platter moment! All you have to do is say, hey, Yuuya, why don't we go grab some dinner in the mess and we can talk about this a little bit before we jump into the simulators. It's like... I've never been that great at this either, but come on, man, it's right there. You're right, Lieutenant.
今日の模擬戦で貴様はいつも以上に体力を消耗している。まずはやるべきことをやれ。技術論はそれからだ。
Come on. Understood.
申し訳ありません。ドール注意。
いや、これは A 氏が自覚すべき責任だ。 ところで会議が思いのほか長引いてな。
Yes!
高村中尉もまだ食事を取られていない。
Yes!
ブリジス。
Why? She's not eating in her office in the officers' mess hall?
今からではもう間に合わん。ここの地下なら交代勤務要員のために24時間開いている。
Yuuya, Yuuya, you should have just smiled and said, yes, sir, because that's the right response to him giving you a date. But, are you sure she can slum it with the rest of us?
いいから続きはそこでやれ。
Yes, sir, yes! Thank you for being the voice of reason. Punch him in the arm. Wait, doesn't that mean the boss hasn't eaten either? Man, we should have all gone together, right? The more the merrier. Shut up! Shut up! No! Poor Yui. She's just way too polite to point out his mistake. No! Oh my gosh. Oh, he's gonna kill me. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die with this. Oh my gosh. Can he go? I can't handle this. It's weird, right? Yeah, of course it's weird.
いや、なんというか、まるで夏祭りのようだ。
That's kind of cool though. Look at that. Like all the different like places. I'd be like going straight for the Taiwanese cuisine. Summer festivals? Yeah, I can see that. All right. First order of business is eating. Else the boss will have my head. So, what would you like? Oh right, silly me. Forgot you don't really come to this place often. Oh. In that case, I'll choose for the both of us.
だが、
Relax. I'll keep your taste in mind.
そうか。私はそんな話まで知っていたのか。
You better not mess this up, man. Come again?
いや、覚えていないというわけではないぞ。これは単なる確認だ。そう、あくまでも確認に過ぎない。
God, the tsundere is strong with this one. And that's part of the problem, too. Like, Yuuya's a freaking boulder of a human being when it comes to the relationship stuff. But it doesn't help that she's so evasive and very, like, you know, tsundere. Like, you get an idiot and a tsundere together, and you're lucky if they could even string together a cohesive, like, conversation.
何分このところの私は非常に情けない話だが、現実の問題としてユウヤの前で失態を晒し続けていることは認めねばならないわけで。
So this must be an internal monologue.
万に一つの可能性としてうろたえた挙句、無意識的に自分語りをしている可能性は否定できない。そう、無意識的に。
Yep. She's even blaming herself.
なんだその目は。私だって好きで失態を晒しているわけではない。誰のせいだか。あ、いや、なんでもない。とにかく仕方ないではないか。
Oh, she's just so far out of her league. It's hilarious. That whole thing happened in a split second. Aww. She kind of reminds me of me a lot, though. Like, I definitely, like I said, I don't think in monologues. I think in impressions and images, but I do feel like I have like in between like the breaths and conversations, I'm like having entire thought structures.
私は今何か言っていたか。
No. No. You sure you're okay? Oh man, I knew it. You don't like me picking your food, right?
それは問題ない。それより私は貴様に味の好みまで話をしていたのか。
Hey, are you serious now? You fed me your nikujaga.
肉じゃ。ああ、そうか。そうだったな。
You're okay with something that doesn't have soy sauce, right? The food here is pretty different from what Japanese people usually like to eat. Options are a little on the limited side. Limited side? I can see so many good ones. Sit down, I'll be back in a second. Why? I mean, maybe she'll think it's cute, but like, it's just weird to be like, I'll buy you food. I don't know for sure if I know what you like, but I'm gonna try. It's like, oh.
日本人が美味しいと思うメニューが。
I know, right?
その言葉の意味に気づいているのか。
He sounds very unculturedly racist. Hey, he sounds like an American.
やはりユウヤは大きく変わった。教えてあげるわ。ユウヤを理解できるのは。
Oh boy, here we go.
あいつと同じ二つの祖国の狭間に生きる者だけよ。二つの祖国か。確かに私たちは住む世界が違う。
I mean, yeah. But you know, if you throw caution to the wind, you can still have a great time. But I mean, there are long-term implications and issues.
あんた、ユウヤのために家捨てられんの？ユウヤのために日本を捨てる覚悟ある？
それとこれは
同じよ。
I mean, again, I feel like it's being over dramatic, but then you really think about it, it's like, no, she's absolutely hit the nail on the head. If you were a normal surface pilot, like a normal, like just soldier, it really wouldn't be a big problem. Yuuya could probably be like, you know, grandfathered into the military of Japan, like they'd probably be fine with that. Or vice versa, Yuuya could be floated over to the USA. Like, Japan would probably be not as fine with that, but they'd probably like let it slide because there's, you know, allies. I hate using quotes there, but like, this world's pretty brutal and cutthroat. But she's in the Royal Guard. She's part of like the line of samurai, the protectors of the shogun. That's not a duty that Japan's gonna just let her cast aside. Nor is she somebody who she's got so much clearance and like exposure to like internal like machinations of the empire, letting her marry a outsider who has priority leanings and loyalties to a different nation, even an allied nation, probably wouldn't work out.
そこがわからないってことが、あんたとユウヤが分かり合えない証拠なのよ。
Oh, I know, but come on, you can still have a good time now at least.
任務も責任も大事。でも、あなたの思いも大切。だって私たちは人間だから。
Thank goodness Stella's here to be a counter.
そう思いたいが、結論なんて今は出るはずもない。計画の完遂が先だ。
I like how she's literally at the point where like, gosh, she's such a serious person. Again, she reminds me of me a lot. Because like, even in high school, so for me, even the fact that I was like an out of shape super nerd, like, I don't know, like, it wasn't like I didn't have opportunities to date in high school. I had the opportunities. And the thing is, I turned down more opportunities than I accepted. Because I'm very much this kind of all or nothing person. I'm very much, like, I take it all super seriously. I just couldn't be someone who could date casually just to date, you know? I'm almost advocating for that here, but, like, I'm having to eat my own words because at the same time, like, I know I wouldn't. Like, I couldn't do that. Now, it wasn't saying, like, every girl I dated in high school, I was planning our wedding. Like, no. But I couldn't see myself or I couldn't date somebody without having the idea in my mind that like they were a person whom at this point I could see myself eventually having a long-term like sustainable relationship with. Like if I couldn't at least envision that, especially after the first couple dates, I usually just kind of, you know, moved on. And I have plenty of relationships that didn't pan out, and I definitely learned more and more about what I actually wanted as I went. But that idea is like that threshold kind of had to be met in order for it to be even considered. I think Yui's very similar. I don't think she's ever considered dating really much at all because frankly she's been too busy, and like she just has to see somebody she has that feeling with that she like, I could see this going all the way. Like it might not, but like it has to have that potential at least for her to even consider it. This is the first time she's encountered that. So it might seem crazy that she's like thinking right now about like, we haven't even gotten a real date yet, but I'm like planning for the fact that like, what will I do if I want to get married? But it absolutely does make sense for some of us. That's just how we were wired. And same with me. Breathe. We got you, girl. We got you. Well, that's that's not unusual. Sorry for the wait.
Yeah.
So, Japanese long blades have a grip that curves forward to allow the blade to hit the opponent quicker, even if it's only by a little.
Oh, そうだが、それがなんだ?
I've been doing some research, and I think that Jian Ryo School of Swordsmanship is based on similar principles. Your swing must reach the enemy first, even if only by a hair's breadth, that kind of thing. The idea is the same, right? Take out the other guy with the first strike. This isn't quite the date she imagined, is it? I said the idea behind the Japanese long blade seems to be the same as in the Jigen Ryo School of Swordsmanship. Sorry, maybe I should have explained that part first.
いや、そんなことはない。次元流は知っている。
Jigen Ryo.
すまない。
I didn't say
続けてくれ。
I'll try and say it right for now on. Jigen Ryo. Jigen Ryo. Sure. So anyway, the school's swords use a handguard called a suba to help with balance. I think that's what's a similar idea to how the Japanese long blades have a weighted end. So is she like impressed, or is this not quite what she was expecting to the point where she's disappointed? Hello, are you listening?
ああ、聞いているとも。
Okay, anyway, before we continue, I have to come clean with you. Until today, I've had serious doubts about how Japanese long blades are built.
なぜ今まで黙っていた？それを言うのもテストパイロットの責務だろう。
I wrote thousands of words about how flawed the blade is when you had me writing that Fubuki, remember? But you told me to forget about it since it's part of the TSS basic equipment load.
なるほど。
She's like, ah,
そうだった。
right. And it's a good thing you did, because man, have I been stupid or what? It's not flawed at all.
どういうことだ？
I only figured this out after crossing swords with that Chinese-style long blade, but the Japanese long blade's counterattacks are ridiculously fast. I mean, take a look at these numbers. This is a shoulder mass to power output of the Shiranui Second and the Gion 10. Hate to give my stalker praise, but that Bao Feng woman is a real pro at using the TSF's tensile strength to her advantage. So the fight easily could have gone the other way. Now look at these logs. Aww. I don't know if she's happy or not. I can't tell. And there it is. These figures are not telling you how powerful the longsword's attack is. It's telling you how fast the slashes are. The Chinese-style long blade is top-heavy to increase the attacking power, but as you see, it's not the TSF that's swinging the sword. It's the sword that's taking the arms and fuselage for a ride, and using the automatic control to account for this creates a bit of a gap. Oh man, this is some terrible coffee. Whatever. Moving on. What I'm driving at is the Japanese-style long blade distributes its weight along the curvature of the fuselage itself, from the tip to the toe to the point of the sword in a single weapon. Am I right or what?
よくぞそこまで。
Oh, she's happy. Yeah, if only. I was missing the force for the trees all along, man. Looking at the weight distribution across the blade, one would think it would waste a lot of centrifugal force, but it's only if you look at but that's only if you look at it wrong, because it's supposed to work as a set with your TSF. And then, thanks to this, it's easy to swing around with just an arm. Plus, the blade striking capabilities are only second to the Chinese-style long blade. Whoever designed the damn thing's a freaking genius. I swear I could kiss the guy.
そうか。
Oh, wasn't that her dad? Huh? She's more impressed than I thought she'd be. Well, that works for me. Means I was on the right track all along. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying the Colonel Hartwig deserves praise or anything, but at the very least, I can only figure this out thanks to the blue flag. And in my eyes, that alone makes this whole thing worth it.
そうだな。
But truth be told, that's not really what I wanted to discuss with you.
聞こう。
Get serious. First, I am sorry to beat around the bush like this. I had to get to the blade stuff out of the way first so you could understand just how serious I am.
そこまでせずとも、私は貴様を信じている。
Yeah. No, I couldn't count on that. Not after all the attitude I've been giving you. Though I hope we can put that behind us.
そんなことはない。正直な話、感服して声も出せなかった。本当に恐れ入った。あのわずかな経験で、よくぞそこまで日本機の設計思想を読み取れるものだと。
It's cool. And to be honest, even just being a mouthpiece, that monologue was actually fun. That was fun to read. I enjoyed that. Just going through and trying to put the excitement in the voice, because I'd be geeking out too. You're exaggerating. Here's your tea. Careful, it's hot.
ありがとう。
So, could you teach me Japanese-style swordsmanship? She's like, wait, what? Please.
私の返答はもう決まっている。だが、それを伝える前に理由を聞こう。
Japanese surface pilots receive basic training in swordsmanship, right? When the Shiranui Second officially becomes an Empire mainline TSF, they will be the ones behind the sticks. So it's simple. To build the Shiranui Second into the best TSF it can be, I need to master the art of Japanese-style swordsmanship, much like the Imperial surface pilots do.
なるほど。
As you know, the sharpness of the TSS movements mainly depends on the statistical thought control and how it picks up on and executes preliminary motions, which brings me to another thing I learned during today's dogfight. Oh, he's actually got a good point here, something he might have missed. The reason why they train them in sword fighting, it might seem silly, but it's about training your natural instincts and your subconscious, because that type of signaling in your brain gets read by the machine and it helps anticipate your movements, right? But in order for those movements to be traceable, you have to show your TSF how you think. Because remember, I think I mentioned this a few episodes ago. The brain map is unique and different between persons. Like, we have hemispheres in different locations where thoughts for specific actions and interpretations, like for sight, at the back of the brain, for hearing, it's like on the sides, up here. Like, here's the prefrontal cortex up here, the hippocampus, where thoughts and memories are processed, is kind of in the middle towards the forefront. Like, we know these locations and structures and what their jobs are. But even then, brain scans are unique to person. Like, a brain is like a fingerprint, and the structures are completely unique. And even like, though we have generalized like knowledge of where certain structures are in the brain and what those structures tend to do, the way they do it, the way they map it, and the way they connect to the other parts of the brains are completely unique to each individual. So if you're having a TSF program, part of the reason why it has to be personalized to you is the fact that if it's trying to read and interpret the messaging and electrical signals of your brain, it has to be built uniquely to you. It'll have a general blueprint, which is what they initially start with you, but remember, they talk about how it gets jittery, it's not very responsive. You have to put in the hours for it to start becoming more natural because of that marriage of understanding and being able to read the neuron structures of your brain specifically. So if you train all of your people to fight with swords, they are going to have much more developed and better processing power for sword-based movements for their TSFs. It'll be something that'll be advertised very clearly, so that'll translate very well to the mech, and the mech can learn it based on your thoughts. So that's really good, I'm thinking. I'm not skilled enough at putting the carbonic actuator's concentrated tension strength to practical use, at least not to the point where I could wring out the full potential of the Shiranui second.
Nani?
I have zero experience with Japanese-style swordsmanship. That's why I can't bring out 100% of the TSF's potential. Look, I know how it's not my place as your subordinate to ask my superior for a favor, but I'm the main test pilot, dang it. I can't hold back when there's real risk the TSF we spent so much blood, sweat, and tears on won't reach its full potential. She's like, holy crap. She might want to kiss us now. You know what I'm talking about? You're a surface pilot too. Your body movements patterns have direct, huge influence on the statistical thought control. Please, Yui, I need the brainwaves and muscle responses of someone who's mastered Japanese-style swordsmanship. It has to be it has to become second nature to me. I don't want to send another surface pilot into battle riding some half-butt machine. He's really become part of the program. Yes! You really mean it? Hell yeah! You're the best, Yui! What? But I need it for blue flag. Oof, getting serious here.
それに、剣術は始めたからといって、すぐに得得できるようなものではない。あれだけ詳しく調べた。貴様も分かっているんだろう。
Dose of reality. That's a good point. Well, I guess you got me there.
どのみち演習期間内に間に合わないのであれば、知らぬ新潟も貴様も調子が上がっている今、無理に始める意味はない。ブルーフラッグ演習に集中すべきだ。
She's got a good point. Can't argue with that. As long as you teach me in the end, what you say goes.
そうか。
Hey, Yui.
なんだ。
I'm thrilled she took time to hear me out, but it's clear something's weighing heavily on her mind. It's not just that I'm imposing on her. Well, she's the lead developer. She must be stressed out of hell and back. Are you feeling down or something? You haven't even touched your food.
いや、そんなことはないぞ。ほら、こうやって。
Oh, shit. Are you okay? I told you to be careful with the tea. Let me see that. Here we go! Aww. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
すまない。私もそんなつもりでは。本当にすまなかった。
Relax, it's no big deal. That was partially my fault anyway.
そんなことはない。ひどいことを言った。
Again, don't sweat it. You can say I'm used to these kinds of comments. Looks like I've been more at ease around you lately. I mean, the two of us, we've gone through a lot. From heated shouting matches to almost dying together. It's like the suspension bridge effect or something. That crap builds a bond. So I feel like you're one of my war buddies. But of course, in my research, I discovered the typical Japanese noblewoman is supposed to be as modest as you. Funny how that completely slipped my mind. Maybe I've been getting a bit too familiar. She's like, no, wait, don't do that. The Don't get all depressed on me. It was my fault. You have nothing to feel sorry about. Anyway, how should I say this? I just don't learn. I keep tripping over the same stone over and over again.
インペリアルロイヤルガードの高村唯中尉。どこぞのメイクか知らないけど、あんたじゃ絶対に理解できない世界で。
Oh my
ユイヤが
gosh.
生きてるのよ。
What's gonna happen?
あんたみたいな名家のお姫様に理解できるかしら。存在するだけで疎まれる者が生きる世界を。
Hello? Earth to Yui?
私は、貴様が、ユーヤ・ブリッジスという人間が、どのような境遇で、どのように生きてきたのか。
It's a very formal way to talk to him about him. Yui?
人を守れるのは、人の思いを守れるのは、その思いの大切さを知っている人だけだから。
だから、知りたい。
What? Yes. Hello? Yes? No what?
私は、ユーヤのことを理解したい。
That sounds way more forward.
そうすればユーヤは、もっと楽になれるのではないか。
That pitch change was real interesting. Huh. Dude, I had no idea. Not sure what to say. It was my fault, but here you are trying your hardest to understand my side of the story.
使いすぎるぐらいでちょうどいいだろう。今まで使わなさすぎた。
Okay. Well, I can't say I was any better, honestly.
気は互いに使い合うものだ。日本ではな。
I think it's a human thing, but I could see it being culturally Japanese intrinsically. Yeah, I heard about that one.
それも調べたのか？
Nah, my late mom told me. She said that's a virtue of the Japanese.
そうか。母様が。
Yui, your nikujaga?
え？
It tasted just like my mom's.
そうか。ユーヤの母様も肉じゃがを。アメリカ人なの。はあ？ユーヤ発見？
Oh, of course. I mean, I had a feeling we weren't going to be able to get through this lovely date thingy without her showing up, but gosh darn it. Oh no.
ちょうど会いたいって思ってたとこなのよ。これって運命じゃない？
Run, Yui!
そう思うでしょ？ね、ユーヤ。
Yufei, I'm happy to see you. Lovely as always. But Yuya's not going to be very happy.
ユーヤブリッジス。私のことを好きになってもいいわよ。
Oh, now she's really, because she knows too, so she's just like throwing this out here casually.
は？
Say what?
実はね、前々から恋人になる男は私より強くないとダメだって決めていたのよ。あんたが強いし、そこそこ顔もいいわ。
She has a list.
喜びなさい。合格よ。
She has a checklist, and she's like, you know what? You're cute enough. You can beat me in a TSF fight. You're good. You're right there. You're like one of the only men I'll even consider. So welcome to the team. You're allowed to love me. God, what the heck's wrong with this crazy broad? No consideration for others. Can't read the room to save her life. Pushy as hell. Did I mention selfish? Her only redeeming factor is her face, and trust me, I've seen better. Ooh, she definitely has a couple screws loose.
そんなわけであんたは私に惚れていいのよ。私に勝った男にはその資格があるんだから。
It's kind of adorable, but it's also like so freaking like, what was it, self-entitled? Deserving reward, huh? Cool, guess that's an honor.
何よ、そのやる気のない返事は。あんたも私の恋人になるなら。
I'm not!
いいとしてよ。
you're posing this.
あれ、どうしたのかな？顔が赤いわよ。ねえ、ユーヤ。もしかして照れてるの？
What hell have we entered? He's like trying to look at you. She's bad news, I knew it. He's like, go away. God! That hurt! She must be, what, 100 pounds soaking wet? What's up with this gorilla-like strength? Wait, is she doing the pressure point crap to pin me down like a real-life kung fu movie? No, quit messing with me. Push her away. Her slim fingers are digging deep into my chin. Far Eastern medicine doesn't heal, it kills.
つい注意。食事中ゆえ、静粛に願います。
Thank you, Yui, for finally saying something.
何をお姫様。私たち今、取り込み中だから後にしてくれない。
And also, Yuuya, you do something.
ゆうやと私は食事中だ。注意こそ後にしていただきたい。
へえ。
She's like, oh, so you're gonna put stakes down, huh? Whoa, scary. She's giving us some seriously dangerous vibes. Yeah, you don't even know the half of it, Yuuya. You're too dense to really know that this has turned into a fight that's even more terrifying than the TSF fight you just experienced. This is the battle of wills, and boy, oh boy, this is open warfare as far as that goes, because Yui's officially responded, and essentially Yui's officially, between their understanding, she's thrown the gauntlet down. Hard to believe I beat her.
一つ聞くけど、それって誰の言葉？帝国近衛軍高村中尉。
Oh, going straight for the
高村家の
jugular.
お姫様？それとも。
私自身の言葉だ。他の誰でもない高村優衣の言葉だ。つい注意。もう一度言う。私たちの食事を邪魔しないでいただこう。
Mm-hmm. Yui, you're too good for Yuuya.
邪魔なのはあんたなんだけど。
仕方がない。
I didn't want to do this. Oh gosh.
では、日本帝国軍士官として警告する。我々は英氏の責務を履行中だ。機関も国際部隊を率いる身であれば、それを妨げる行為が重大な妨害工作とみなされることは知っていよう。
She's not pulling rank. She's pulling international crime. Oh, yep, here we go. Oh no. Told you. It's a violation of military regulations to interfere with a superior's conversation. Rules. Fetch, yeah!
はいはい、わかったわよ。
She's like, fine, hide behind your freaking rule. Son of a bee, that gorilla like grip of yours hurts!
今日の演習で完全にやり込められたから、ちょっとからかいたくなっただけよ。
She just apologized? That feels so wrong. And no come back to that gorilla grip comment either.
つい注意。この際はっきり言っておく。今後服務中の悪ふざけは慎んでいただこう。特に、度を超えた接近や密着など、もってのほかだ。
She's really laying down the law. Now, is Yofei gonna move on? Like, is this gonna be like, oh, fine, I'm not gonna bother anymore? Or is she just gonna change tactic?
はいはい。あんたの言うことはよくわかったわよ。ごめんなさいね。
Yufei, I'm sorry. I'll miss you, but I have a feeling we're not gonna see you much anymore. That's right, she's a unit commander. Chick might be a few cards short of a full deck, but she still has to set an example. Oh no. What just happened? Terrifying physical condition. Let's see. Both arms are pinned down, legs immobilized as well. Oh yeah, I get what's going on. That woman's straddling me with her legs entwined around my back in the chair. She's holding both my arms above my head to keep me completely immobilized. Oh, okay. How can any of you say you wouldn't find that incredible? It's kind of violating, yes. But at the same time, it's freaking hot. Holy crap. Oh god, my witness. Took her less than a second to render me completely helpless. So Lord Shui Yufei, you're a monstrous physical specimen. Oh, yep. It's not just that, it says everything. Oh my gosh. No, this isn't time for writing commentary.
つい注意。一体何を？
はあ？何って決まってるじゃない。
Oh my god.
恋人同士のお熱い時間よ。
Oh my gosh.
貴様、舌の根も乾かないうちに。
謝っただけよ。やめるなんて言った覚えはないけど。
What a woman. What a woman. I don't know.
機嫌を浪するな。優也から離れろ。
釣った魚に餌をやらないあんたが私にそんなこと言う資格あるの？
Conveniently, Yuuya's not going to notice that line.
あんたには十分な時間があったでしょ？それを棒に振ったのは誰？
私は。
No, no. What the?
もう少しおとなしくしててね。
Okay, that is crossing a line there. This is crossing a line. I can't breathe. She's not wearing a bra. Oh my gosh. And she's squeezing my face tighter and tighter. Oh, fetch. My mouth saying no, but my friend down there is saying yes. This is where it sucks to be a guy. You don't always have that. Well, no, we frankly don't have control. Need air. This isn't the time to worry about saving face. I need to loosen her grasp on me or I'll suffocate to death on her meaty meat buns. Oh crap!
Yuuya! 危ないじゃない。座りなさい、ユーヤ。お座り。
Shut up! As long as I can breathe, I'll do whatever I want.
何？どうするのよ。
Is she like, wait, are you gonna fall through? Oh!
待って、ユーヤ。危ない。やめなさいよ。
Then let me go for fetch's sake. Yeah, this is the way. I'll shake her off. What the heck? To the heck she whatever she wants. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh! Oh! What is happening? Let me go! Don't you lie to me. You're just gonna pull the same small print bull crap again, aren't you? Okay then.
まったく、なんて男なの。想像以上ね。
Oh gosh, why couldn't it be me? No, I really don't want to hear that from you. Anyway, please behave in a civilized manner from now on, Lieutenant.
わかってるわよ。
Don't know about that. I can never take you at your word. One of many annoyances to dealing with you.
安心しなさい。ユーヤのお願いなら聞いてあげるから。
Ain't that a relief? Awfully suspicious. Yeah, you're still plotting something, aren't you?
人聞きの悪いこと言わないでちょうだい。夫の願いを叶えたいと思うのは妻として当然でしょ。
We just got straight upgraded to husband from boyfriend. Wife? Husband? What bullcrap are you going about this time?
当たり前でしょ。あんたは戦術機でも白兵でも私に勝ったのよ。
Oh gosh.
恋人以上になる資格があるわ。
Oh no.
あとは任せる。
Oh no. Wait, Lieutenant Takamura! Don't you have a heart? Please don't leave me alone with that demented stalker!
さああなた、今度のお願いは何？言ってごらんなさい。
Oh my gosh.
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。私の体をめちゃくちゃにしといて逃げる気？最低ね。
You... There's so many answers to that! Don't you have more pressing matters? Bao Feng has the fight of their lives waiting for them.
何よ、なんか問題あんの？
Yes? No, well, whatever. Seriously, you'd better prepare yourself.
強い？誰が？私が？
It's both appealing and so aggravating. Someone's taken one too many hits to the head, and it ain't me.
冗談よ。インフィニティーズのことでしょ？確かにステルスっての厄介かもね。
You have a terrible sense of humor. Would you mind putting a stop to the comedy routine, please?
あら、あんたそんなに首相な男？ダメよ。敬語使ったらお仕置き。夫婦でそんな言葉遣いおかしいでしょ？
Oh my gosh, this woman. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know what? Fetch it. Call me your husband, daddy, whatever you want. I don't care. She's like, are you serious? No. What other choice do I have? She won't listen to me. You've clammed up this entire time, Lieutenant.
何度言われても却下。言葉遣いの問題は XFJ 計画とは無関係でしょ？聞き入れる言われはないわ。
There's that technicality. She's like, I just control the conversation. It doesn't have to be in the territory of problematic. There you have it. Anyway, don't go around dismissing the straight stealth capabilities like a parlor trick or you'll regret it later. Doesn't pay to underestimate the US Armed Forces.
でもまあ、最初に一発食らうのは仕方がないわね。でも一発だけよ。あとかわせばいいのよ。
Easy for you to say. Don't write checks that your butt can't cash. It's what I'd normally say, but coming from her, it's not too far-fetched.
そう簡単にことが運ぶとは思えないな。失礼だが、ジャンジ竜型よりも客観評価の高いファルクラムを要する東欧連合が、わずか4分で全滅させられている。4分が何だっていうのよ。ステルス生かした奇襲を食らっただけでしょ？別に私だって舐めちゃいないわよ。あいつらが強いのは認めてる。
でもだからこそ倒す価値があるんじゃないの？それにね、やけにステルスだなんだと自慢してるみたいだけど。
In a way, she's got a point, because it's kind of like bragging about the kills that he got with the minigun. It's like, was it Yuuya or was it the minigun, really? And so she's saying, like, look, if the victory comes at the stealth, is that anything to say about the pilots?
あんな技術、10年もしないうちに世界中に伝わるでしょ？敵も味方も同じ条件になるなら、最後は近接戦能力がものを言うのよ。
Fair point there. Well, you're not wrong. I wonder if that's really how things are going to play out. Before we start killing each other again, we need to exterminate the beta, and that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. Even then, who's to say TSS will remain a viable weapon? My money's on aircraft taking on a leading role again. We wouldn't bother with TSFs if there were no laser class around, or we didn't need to enter hives. Everybody knows that. Assuming humanity will win this war, the logical conclusion is the TSFs won't remain our weapon of choice for long. That's on all more the reason I need to build the Shiranui second into the best machine around while it still counts. I don't know. They get advanced enough. You could have TSFs that are just too fast and maneuverable to be able to, like, you know, be fought with traditional aircraft.
まあ、ある種のお人よしよね。米軍部隊が来たおかげで、各国のステルス機開発を格段に進むでしょうね。開発関係者は喜んでるわよ。お金をかけないでステルス技術をいろんな形で盗めるんだから。
Yeah, there you go.
プロミネンス計画本来の目的は、アメリカ以外の戦術機開発技術の向上なんだから、ちょうどよかったんじゃない？
You're missing the forest for the trees, Lieutenant. Like I told you, it doesn't pay to underestimate the United States. If a lowly field officer figured this out, you better believe it didn't escape the upper brass's notice.
何が言いたいわけ？
It's what I said way earlier in this episode, which, by the way, is a long episode. I said, if the United States is, you know, strutting around the F-22, it means they got something better in the works already. If I were a betting man, I'd assume the US already has something better than stealth. At the very least, they're on the verge of putting the finishing touches on whatever that is. The infinities are nothing but a distraction.
まあ、そうでしょうね。はっきり言うと、統一中華戦線は、ブルーフラッグの勝敗なんて気にしちゃいない。どうでもいいのよ。
Yeah. Besides posturing, which is important, but yeah. Yeah, because wins or losses matter, but they're not what matter the most.
プロミネンス計画の本部に立ち返ればの話。回収した第一世代機が第二世代機を超える性能になったとして、それが第三世代機に負けたって、回収計画の価値が下がるわけじゃない。なぜなら、今の最前線に必要なのは、ハイコストの最新鋭機じゃないから。
Yeah, she's got a point there too.
本当に必要なのは、信頼性の高い現行機を安価に高性能化する技術。だから、最終的に開発計画が成功すれば、それでいいのよ。
See,
まあ、だからといって私は、誰にも負けるつもりはないけど。
she's saying very similar lines to what I was saying like previously, is the idea that like cutting edge is fine, and if it leads to better development of the stock TSF, that's great. But ultimately, elite TSFs can only do so much. What is it like? Specialists can't hold ground, that kind of saying. The idea of like you can have people who are elite and who can get in and out and do like incredible feats that are just almost inhuman in their scope and scale, but you can't expect them to be able to actually like do things like hold territory and build infrastructure. Like there's so much more to a war than just having a really skilled squad. It's great to have a strike squad, obviously, very, very useful, but without the infrastructure of the main army, it really won't amount for much in the long term.
ユウヤには負けちゃったけどね。
That was a real close call, actually. The only reason I came out on top is that I crossed swords with Yui and her Takuma Kazuchi once before. Without that, I have no doubt our fight would have been a squash match. 2 minutes and I'm eating the pin.
確かに、コストの問題は重要だな。
そうよ。前線には一機でも多くの戦術機が必要なんだから。
Cost, huh? Yeah, there must be one big problem for Yui. Man, she must be swamped with problems. Yet here I am asking her to teach me swordsmanship on top of everything. Jeez, why can't I become like them? These two are always thinking of the big picture, the national interest and whatnot. I can't see anything but my own petty issues. Stuff right in front of my nose. Maybe it's because of my upbringing? Nah, I shouldn't go there. Crap, I don't want to go there. Makes me wonder, though, do I really have the kind of love for the United States that's expected from a soldier? Yui, Lieutenant Colonel Latrova, the kids from the Tsar Battalion, and even the Argus guys are willing to put their heads on the block for the sake of their countries. That's what patriotism is all about. Your firm belief that there's something intrinsically good about your country. Why wouldn't you be willing to die for it? It all makes sense in theory, but something inside me just doesn't click. To tell the truth, I don't know if I'd ever be able to put myself in their shoes. The other thing too is like, it'd be hard to feel like that true sense of patriotism when it feels like the entire country and population just was giving you the shaft your whole life. Like, sure, you can understand that the country is more than the individuals that you cross your path, but if the only people you've crossed your path have been dirtbags, it's going to be hard to have a sense of loyalty. In fact, I'd say he's more likely to be more in line with the UN than the United States at this point. The UN has been a better like ground of place where he's been allowed to be a person, not just, you know, like a recluse, a outsider, or a specialist. Like that's pretty much all he was in the United States. He's either like a minority, a suppressed, a persecuted member of society, seen as a leech or as like a, you know, like an outsider. Or he was just so skilled they couldn't deny or ignore him, but it made him confrontational and everyone was confrontational with him, you know?
まあ、開発的に意味がないのは分かった上で、ステルス対策に話を戻すけど。
Yeah.
遠距離誘導兵器の使用が禁じられてる時点で、自慢の能力も半分以上は封じられたようなものでしょ。ステルス対策してても、温紋や振動、排熱はゼロじゃないし、透明なわけでもない。
She's got a point there. One of my favorite movies is Star Trek, like I think it's 6, The Undiscovered Country. And that's actually one of the things they fight. They find, they end up fighting a ship that can fire while cloaked, which is normally, it's like you're either cloaked or you have shields and weapons. But this thing, well, it didn't have shields, but it'd be cloaked and fire weapons from cloak. So it was like undetectable. But they figured out like the way they solved like the fight because they were just being destroyed. But then they realized, wait a minute, like it's still a ship. It has exhaust, and that exhaust is going to stand out from the space around it. So if we take a missile and we prime it to find the source of that exhaust, it'll take us right to where it is. And that's how they destroyed it, is they were able to hit it square on with one thing, and then they targeted that spot and just fired the crap out of it. It was really, I love that movie. That movie's one of the best movies. It's one of my favorites growing up, and it's weird because so many people have never seen it.
最悪引きこもって動かない場合でも、最低3機のセンサーの反射をデータリンクで統合解析すれば、面倒だけど座標特定は不可能じゃない。こっちは追加装甲でも装備してれば、120ミリの射撃はしのげるはずだし。ほら、大丈夫じゃない？大した敵じゃないわよ。
I really hope you can put your money where your mouth is. Well, it sounds like that anyone in your place would do. It's almost a carbon copy of the plan we had in mind to deal with the infinities.
つい注意。その作戦を実行する気なら、注意するべき点がいくつかある。
何よ。
敵が停止潜伏している状況で、センサーの反射を拾うのは良しとしても、その際は自軍小隊も動きを止めるはず。演習規定で相手の通信が傍受できない以上、むやみな移動は待ち伏せの餌食だ。
Yeah, so the trying to overcome the stealth system is a double-edged sword. It's doable, but in order to do it, you have to put yourself at a pretty extremely, like, and the thing too is like, not only do you have to like stand still while they're standing still to be able to coordinate and be able to kind of pierce through that like dissipation effect, but it means you have to be spread out like around them. Like you have to have essentially 3 points around the core of them. And then what do? They just move and engage and take out 1 or 2 of you, like boom, boom, before you can regroup. That's dangerous.
そうね。で、だから何よ。
その際、アクティブセンサーを使うことで、自軍の位置は敵から丸見えになる。しかも止まっているとなれば、米軍お得意のアウトレンジ攻撃のいい的だ。
まあ、確かにね。
ユウヤも言っていた通り、我々が考えつくことは、すでに米軍も考えているはずだ。だとするなら、奇策以外勝利の可能性はない。対ステルスのデータ収集ではなく、機関がこれまで通り、勝負にこだわるのであれば、の話だが。
She's got a point. If you can focus on engagement and get close, that way you can nullify the stealth by simply being able to just physically observe them.
先ほど機関が言っていた戦術がそれに相当する。1機をおとりに狙撃をいなし、4機で括弧撃破。今のところ、それしかあるまい。 公表されている性能から言えば、ジャンジ夕方に1機でも落とされれば、面目上、アメリカの大敗だ。
That's true.
まあ、少なくとも1匹見つけたら、最低でもエレメントの1機が近くにいるから要注意ね。
Fair.
なんか、ゴキブリみたい。
Fair, fair.
ちょうど黒いしな。
I'm trying to take it personal. I mean, I understand they're the enemy in this case, but they're still my people in this hypothetical dimension. And perfect sync. How isn't that weird?
できれば2機落として、メンツ丸つぶれにしてやりたいところよ。
Hold your horses, cowboy. The Raptor EMD has outstanding dogfight capabilities. Don't just assume it'll be a walk in the park.
見つけてしまえば、私の方が腕は上だもの。まあ、訓練で勝っても実戦で勝てるとは限らないんだけど。
Fair. It's not just the Raptor specs you need to be on the lookout for. I know firsthand the people behind the sticks are top-notch pilots.
ちょっと言うや。あんた、もしかしてインフィニティーズの連中と知り合いなの？
I guess that never came up, did it? You could say that.
何？それは、本当なの？
Oh, Yuuya didn't even know? Uh-oh. Weird. I could have sworn I mentioned this before.
聞いてないぞ。
Uh-oh. Hot water there. Anyway, my bad. I must have slipped my mind. I'm lying through my teeth, of course. Didn't mention it because I figured it wasn't all that important. That and I was sure it would make life easier for me. But Yui's been working day and night for the sake of this project, is still willing to indulge my whims, so it's only right I tell her, even if I don't share the whole story.
いや、まあいい。だからといって、何がどうなるという話ではないからな。
ねえ、ユウヤ。一つ確認しておきたいんだけど。あんた、インフィニティーズに勝ちたいのよね。
Oh, absolutely. More than winning this thing, I want to take them down. No crap I do. Development comes comes first of all, but I'll never allow myself to lose to that bunch. Not to him, never to him.
そうだ。
What now? Man, I have a bad feeling about this. It's like I'm standing between a 120mm cannon and its target. Uh-oh.
ユウヤ、私がインフィニティーズに勝ったら、ハネムーンに行くわよ。
Oh, here we go again. Honeymoon?
ハネムーン？
休暇を取ってアラスカ観光に行くのよ。そして、雄大な湖畔のコテージで一晩過ごすの。
I mean...
暖炉の前で寄り添って。
I mean, yes, but...
ねえ、素敵じゃない？
Yes, but... Where have I heard those words before? Oh, yeah. You're getting those lines from one of those tourism posters.
何よ、その顔は。まさか、私が負けるなんて思ってるんじゃないでしょうね。
At this point, with that on the line, you might need to. No, that's not it. It's just... Are you serious?
私はね、下手な冗談で身を捧げるほど安い女じゃないのよ。
Fair. You know what? The last thing I would assume is she's a cheap woman. Not what I was talking about.
よし、そうと決まれば、早速あいつらとの対戦に備えて寝るわ。ユウヤ、高村注意。美味しい食事をご馳走してもらって感謝するわ。
What invitation?
ああ、どういたしまして。
サイチェン。
What's with her? Acting like a maniac the entire time, but switching up to civilized human being mode right before she goes?
さあ、注意の思考は理解の範疇を超えている。
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I like about her. Hey, it's not like I'm second guessing you or anything, but are you sure it was okay to share those anti-raptor measures with her?
それは、つい注意が我々より先に有効な手段を実践することへの懸念。という意味か。
That's fair. Yeah, I am. Assuming they work, we can expect the infinities to counter the countermeasures.
もともとは、つい注意が自ら語った戦術だ。私は、それを補強したに過ぎない。
It might be good if we see her deploy those and see how they respond to it, it could teach us a lot. Go ahead.
彼女が他人から聞いたままを実行するような性格とは思えないしな。
That's fair. I guess.
なんだ、まだ何か気になるのか？
No, not in particular. I don't know. I think it was out of character for you, that's all.
そうか。ユウヤ、私は XFJ 計画の責任を負う者として自身に課された全てを全うしようと思っている。
That's what ties them together, and part of why I'm really hard leaning on this idea that Yuuya and Yuuya are actually really good for each other is the fact that they are both like dive head first and don't come up for air until you accomplish your mission type people. Like, they will do whatever it takes. That's a given.
そのためには 彼女たちを利用することに問わない。
Don't sound so dramatic. That's a brilliant idea.
すでに詳細データが取れているジャンジ10型は良いベンチマークになる。知らぬ2型と類似仕様の機体が想定上有効な作戦を先に実行するなら、私は喜んでそれに手を貸す。
Yeah, yeah.
その結果、誰にどう思われようが構わない。XFJ 計画の完遂こそが私が達成すべき任務なのだ。そして、そこからが私自身の戦いだ。
I understand. You have it just as tough, huh?
そうだ。私は大変なんだ。やっとわかったか。
Hey. Yeah, it took me long enough.
なんだ、嫌に素直だな。怖いくらいだ。
Well, these days I know my place.
ぶっか。
Yeah. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. I won't let you fight alone. Oh, that was cute. I promise I won't spare any effort as a surface pilot. I don't give a crap what people say, what people think of me. Your Type 94 second will become the best TSF around. You're the commander. Let us get our hands dirty. Just kick back and enjoy the show.
ゆうや。
私もある意味あんたと同じ二つの祖国を持っている。
What was the meaning behind those words? Assuming she's of mixed blood, same as I, what does patriotism mean to Yufei? How does she feel about the country she serves? Maybe knowing the answer would go a long way to give me some peace of mind, but that's not what's best for business. And maybe me learning swordsmanship isn't anything but a distraction either. But I'll never lie to myself. As a test pilot, the only way left for me to go is forward. That was sweet. Oh boy. Yeah. Gonna get some commentary on what we just saw go down, I'm sure. But we're gonna get in here because this is already freakishly long for me. But come on, I couldn't stop halfway through all that shenanigans. Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be recording again. Yes. I was so stressed out before, and it's like I'm flushing all these terrible emotions out of me and just being able to just breathe again and just, I'm having fun. So yeah, a nice big long episode for you all. Hope you enjoy it. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I had fun reading the lines alone. Like, this was just a great episode. I'm curious to see how it's all going to play out in the end. I understand why everyone likes Yui, and I think Yui's fantastic. The Yufei, she's just real cool. I'm a fan. That's me personally, though. Not you. Not for Yuuya. She's terrible for Yuuya. However, anyway, we'll jump into the stuff next time. Okay, FYI, if you're watching this live and you've been curious about the Starfield gameplay, I am going to be able to make a recording of that. I did a little test of it just to see how it ran, and it ran, but it's gonna be jank compared to what you probably find other places. Don't come watching my stream of it if you want to see high quality and high fidelity yet. That'll change hopefully in the next month or so, but for now, I'm just gonna stick with what I can do, and what I can do is start that series off as best I can. So I'm looking forward to recording that and sending that out tomorrow. So hopefully you'll be able to join me for that first episode as we crack it open for the first time, because I think it's going to be a real treat. And especially for me, because like I just love space stuff. So I'm just going to go nerd out all over everything. And I'm going to try and make it as like kind of like self-driven. Like that's the thing, is like I tend to do games either where we follow the plot and just kind of immerse ourselves in the characters and story that's written, or if we write our own, I tend to try and make my own little narrative and we kind of run with it to the end, just like I did with a Knights of the Republic playthrough. So look forward to something similar to that. I'm excited. Anyway, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you all again in the next video. So the next time you see a video with me or watch something else, I'll see you there.